الحمد لله إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا ونبينا وحبيبنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيه وعبده بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين فصلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his prophet and messenger. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَسْرٍ هَلْ فِي ذَلِكَ قَسَمٌ لِذِي حِجْرٍ. And then at the end of the surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes back and says, يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ وَأَنَّى لَهُ الذِّكْرَى. The two questions that I have today for myself and for you, in order to understand what this surah is all about, is the first question is, what are we going to remember in that day, the day of judgment? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in that day, humans, us, every one of us will remember. But it's not time to remember now. It's too late. What is it that we remember? And why do we remember it then? And then what does that have to do with the beginning of the surah? وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. And what does it have to do with the brains and the intellect and the intelligence? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the beginning of the surah says, وَالْفَجْرِ. Fajr. Everybody knows what Fajr is. It's the time to get up from our sleep, from our death, and wake up to say La ilaha illallah. Wake up to say, oh Allah, we submit to your order. And we wake up because we are Muslims. Yes, it was nice to complete my sleep. Yes, it was cold and cozy or warm and nice. But I'm going to get up because I submit to you, O Allah. And this is, by the way, what Hajj is all about. It's all about teaching us to be those who submit directly to the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without discussing. Yes, we look for the benefit. We look for the reasons as much as possible. But at the end, all what we're doing is we're submitting to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we go into the surah, وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. The scholars, most of them said those are the first 10 days of the Hijjah. Some of them even said those are the last nights of Ramadan. It doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter. وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَسْرٍ. What matters is all these times are times that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have created, and He gave us His oath by these important times. What happens in these times? That's when we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's when we submit to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the worship that He ordered us to do. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هَلْ فِي ذَلِكَ قَسَمٌ لِذِي حِجْرٍ. Did you even understand that I'm swearing, that I'm giving an oath by important times that you should be taken advantage of? That's the whole story. Those are times that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, take advantage of these times. If you don't, then the end of the surah will apply. And the middle of the surah will apply. هَلْ فِي ذَلِكَ قَسَمٌ لِذِي حِجْرٍ. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right away says, you don't want to submit to my orders? You don't want to worship me? أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِعَادٍ إِرَمَ ذات العماد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد وفرعون ذي الأوتاد. All of these people, the people of Thamud, the people of Ad, the Pharaoh, all of them, الذين طغوا في البلاد. Those are the ones who transgressed, took the rights of others. They were leaders, but for their own benefit and for their own glory. Whether it's them or anybody that we see in between now and then, or anybody that will come from now until the day of judgment, all of them the same result will happen to them. الذين طغوا في البلاد فأكثروا فيها الفساد. They filled the land with corruption. فصب عليهم ربك صوت عذاب. You wait. In our lifetime, it might not look that things are happening, but in the history, you will see everybody that does that eventually, they will go down and the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come up. فصب عليهم ربك صوت عذاب إن ربك لبالمرصاد. Wallahi, this ayah, if we just contemplate, if we look at it really closely and understand it and think every moment of our life, إن ربك لبالمرصاد. Allah is waiting for you. Allah is watching you. Allah is waiting to see how you are going to act. I think our lives would be much better. Not only our relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also our relation with each other. I don't think there will be theft. I don't think anybody will treat his wife or his children bad, or neglect his children for just making money. إن ربك لبالمرصاد فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن. كلا. People, when they see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given him a good job, good income, they're not having problems in their life, they think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves me. Why else? I'm living so happy. And then people who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deprive them from some of the wealth or put some problems in their life, they think maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't love me. Maybe I've done something wrong and that's why. Maybe. It could be. But that's not why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does these things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us through these things because He is testing us. Kalla. It's as if we're asking ourselves, isn't it true that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves me, that's why He gave me? Isn't it true Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like me, that's why He deprived me? And the answer is usually kalla. When the question in the Arabic language comes in the negative sense, the answer is always kalla. No, that's not the answer. That's not the right understanding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting each and every one of us through a test to see, are you going to submit to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even if you had too much money? Or are you going to do like Qarun? إِنَّمَا أُوتِيتُهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ مِّنِّي. I came up with it because I'm intelligent, I'm smart, I had this degree. Or are you going to say, oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given me anything, I'm having it bad anyway, I might as well just not do anything. It's the test. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says what? Kalla. كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم. جزاك الله خير. كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين. This is the way to read it. This is the way to recite it in Quran. It's not ولا تحاضون, it's ولا تحاضون يَحَضُّونَ 7 extensions. SubhanAllah. What does that have to do with being a good Muslim? You don't feed the orphans and you don't urge each other to feed the needy and the poor. These are the signs of people that have Iman, and against that is the signs of people who don't have Iman. What he wants us to submit and do with the wealth that he gives us is to give from it, is to feed the poor and the needy. And this is the time. This is one of the best times to do it. We have the udhiyah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have told us to do. He told us to do in the Quran, the udhiyah of instead of Ismail alayhi salam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells us that in the day of udhiyah, anything, the best thing you can do is to make that udhiyah and spill that blood. Not because we love blood, not because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs that blood or that hair or that meat. No, it's because He wants your family to be happy, and He wants your friends to be happy, and He wants the poor people to be happy in that day. So let's feed them. We have a lot of, we come, I mean, I'm looking at us right now, we come from probably every corner of the world. And most of these corners, most of them, there is needy people over there. We have to do some udhiyas every now and then here. But also we have to remember those who are less fortunate. So let's feed, especially the orphans and the needy. Let's feed them. But also we want to feed our families and we want to feed our kids. كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين. This is insisting that this is very important that you and I will urge each other to feed those who are needy and those who are poor. ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما. You eat, you consume right and left, and it doesn't matter how much. وتحبون المال حبا جما. We love money so much, and it's not bad to like money, but make sure it's in your hand, not in your heart. Make sure you control it. It doesn't control us. كلا. Again, twice. No. You understood it wrong. It's not because I love you, I gave you. It's not because I hate you, I deprived you. No. It's because I test you. And the real test, you will see the result in the day of judgment. كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا. That day, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroys that land. Dakkan dakka, not once. Over and over. وَجَاءَ رَبُّكَ. And your Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes. When? وَالْمَلَكُ صَفًّا صَفًّا. Everybody in the land of Hashr will be in there, and the angels will come down, rows after rows around him. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come. وَجَاءَ رَبُّكَ وَالْمَلَكُ صَفًّا صَفًّا وَجِيءَ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمَ. In that day, Jahannam will be brought as if it's an animal that you actually can move. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells us Jahannam will come, has 70,000 handles. Each handle is handled by 70,000 angels. Imagine how great and big these angels are. Yet, if they did not hold it, it'd probably eat all of us or burn all of us, because it's so angry for those who don't submit to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَجَاءَ رَبُّكَ وَالْمَلَكُ صَفًّا صَفًّا وَجِيءَ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمَ. Now we remember. يَوْمَئِذٍ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ وَأَنَّى لَهُ الذِّكْرَ. What do we remember? We remember those times in the beginning of the surah. وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَسْرِ. This is the time everybody that did not take advantage of this time, they will remember them there. Oh, I wish I'd done this. I had the chance, why didn't I take it? Why didn't I pray more? Why didn't I come to the masjid? I know these Hajjaj, they went to Bayt al-Haram and they get 100,000 times as many prayers every time they go. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also told me that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will prepare a castle for me in Jannah every time I come to the masjid and go back home. So if they have something, we can do another. I know Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told me, Yawm Arafah, the day of Arafah is coming. Inshallah, on Monday, Rasulullah sallam told me that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive my past sins in the last year and the next years of sins, as long as we stay away from kabair and the rights of others. Why not do it? Take advantage. If we don't, we will remember that day. And what humans say? يوم يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى يقول, what does it say? يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي. I wish I have advanced some good so I can find it today. They say most of the screaming for the people of the hellfire is for opportunities that they could have had, they had and they could have taken advantage of, and they did not. It's not from the torture itself, it's from, I could have avoided this, but oh, I didn't take advantage of that time. يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد. It's a torture that I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that none of us have to go through. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all of us will take advantage of these opportunities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, like these days of 10 of the Hijjah, as Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, ما من أيام العمل الصالح فيها أحب إلى الله من هذه. No days in the whole year, any time in the whole year is not better than these 10 days. Maybe some scholars said with the exception of the night of Al-Qadr. That's it. Those are the days that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves to see us doing the good. Worshipping Him. Being nice to our kids and parents and wives and relatives. If you have people that you know they're quarreled and they have a problem between them, to go and make sure that you solve this problem between them. Islahu dhatil bayn, one of the best things that we can do. But probably what keeps running into my mind is probably learning how to raise our kids the correct way. You know, when you raise a kid, it's just amazing. Everything he or she does from there on, it will be in your script as good deeds, or maybe bad deeds if you teach them something bad. So let's use this time, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who actually take advantage of these times. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those that He would forgive in the day of Arafah. ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. If you can come in, there is a lot of different small spots here and there inside. Come in, please. Jazakumullah khair. After the day of Arafah, we have the day of Eid. The first thing I would recommend is please listen to the instructions that the brothers are going to give you. It will make everything more organized. It will make it happier, inshallah. The second thing is, we all know the Islamic etiquette. Just be nice to the person next to you. Be nice to the people in your house. Some people try to make it miserable until they come to the Eid prayer. Make the whole experience nice and happy. Make sure you buy new clothes for your kids and make them happy, buy them toys, make them feel that there is Eid. They don't just have to see. We live in a country where that is dominated by non-Muslims, and Christmas and Hanukkah and Diwali and all these things happening, and they see it all over, especially in the schools. And when Eid comes, we are conservative. What is that about? We don't have to. We don't have to buy a tree on Christmas and be just like Christians. Why not make our kids happy today in the day of Eid? Give them the money. If anything you want to do, those are the most important people to make happy in the day of Eid. Come to the masjid from one way and you go in another way. You know why? It's not only because this way will be the witness that you came to the masjid, you submitted to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted us to meet as many people as possible. So don't just come to Salat al-Eid and go home and go to sleep. Get up. Go to your friends and family, people who you have been for long thinking, I want to go visit this brother, I want to see this sister. Make sure we make all these visits in that day. That day, Allah subhanahu, and all the 10 days. But especially in the day of Arafah after Fajr, until the Maghrib of 4th day, or Asr of 4th day of Eid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the most those people who do Tahleel, Takbir, and Tahmeen. Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah. And this is what we do in the Eid. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillahi alhamd. This is something that the scholars said we should do all the time. They said Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu and Abu Hurairah used to be walking in the streets all these 10 days or 14 days. They would be walking in the streets and just loudly saying it, so they would remind others. That's one thing, inshallah. We need to make sure Udhiyah. I've spoken a little bit about it in the khutbah, but Abu Hanifa radiyallahu anhu, he says it's a wajib. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given you enough, you should make Udhiyah. It's not a choice, at least with Abu Hanifa radiyallahu anhu. But that doesn't mean that you go and take a loan to do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given you enough, you make that Udhiyah. Make the household happy, make some of your friends happy, and make some of the poor also happy. I think there is, alhamdulillah, the management here have prepared a program for that, and if you have extra, you've done your Udhiyah somewhere else, and you want to bring it in, or that portion, they will inshallah take it. There is some rules. I think you have to put them in 5-pound bags or something like that, so it'll be easier distributed. So make sure, inshallah, you make yourself, your family, and your kids happy in that day. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who submit to His orders. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who take advantage of these days and times that He has given us. اللهم إنا نسألك عيش السعداء وليل الشهداء والفوز بالقضاء والنصر على الأعداء. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من جهد البلاء ودرك الشقاء وسوء القضاء وشماتة الأعداء. اللهم إنا نسألك باسمك الأعظم الذي إذا سئلت به أعطيت وإذا دعيت به أجبت وإذا استرحمت به رحمت. اللهم فك أسر المسجد الأقصى. اللهم فك أسر المسجد الأقصى. اللهم فك أسر المسجد الأقصى. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.